And welcome to our first Wednesday night sports show. We don't even have a real name for it yet. So welcome to the ENET Sports and the Tuscola Football Network. This is David with Coach Jonathan and Coach Seibert, Coach Trevor Seibert. And man, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I'm excited about the guests that we're going to have here as the year goes on. And Coach Seibert's going to be our Big Ten guy. And you wait till Peter Clay's on here. And he is Mr. Michigan State.
Big Ten, little 14.
Little 14. Yeah, because let me tell you what you'll learn here. Even when Peter's on here, it is a war between the Big Ten and
I believe it,
and the only real football conference that there is.
Listen, he's a Michigan State guy. It doesn't really count.
Oh my God, he's listening.
I know. I'm just saying, like it's hard. It's hard to have justification when you're Michigan State.
Yeah. And before we get going here, real quick. As always, you'll see our sponsors running at the bottom. We cannot thank them enough. Please, please, please spend your money at these places. They're local. They're independent businesses like myself. And right now, especially with our economy, every day's a struggle. So please visit our sponsors. And let's get going here. So we're going to talk we're going to talk a lot of college football. We're going to talk the Ryder Cup. That's going to be, I think that starts next week up at Bethpage Black. And just a lot of stuff going on. And, we got the big game Friday night. And we'll talk a little bit here before we get off about the Mountaineers and the Falcons. So anyway, so far, 3 weeks in, just your biggest surprises without taking 30 minutes to tell me what your biggest surprises are, guys. And Trevor, Jonathan, tell me what your biggest surprises in college football is so far.
Well,
go ahead, Trev.
I'll start with my team. Biggest surprise for Penn State is that we're trying to throw the daggone football instead of running it with arguably the top two running backs, the top two running back duo in the country. I think Cromp and I have talked about that a lot, but that's probably one surprise for me. Second surprise that's kind of stuck out to me is just how bad Texas is offensively. And obviously it starts with the quarterback, but that's been they've got a generational defense there, and their offense cannot help them right now, and it's been pretty ugly from what I've seen. I think those for me are the two biggest that just stand out right off the front for me.
Johnny?
I don't agree with, or I don't disagree with with any of those. I think one of my biggest surprises is why Florida State is ranked so high. I know they beat Alabama. Don't get me wrong, good win. They needed that early on. But have you seen their other game? East Texas A&M?
Yeah, but
So I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry, but that's like playing Missouri State, Southeast, West Tech. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a slight on that school. It's the fact of I don't see how you jump from unranked to 7 with that being your second win. You would put up, 77 points or something crazy? I get it. But I'd be kind of more surprised if they didn't put up 77 points that week.
Well,
even with how they played last year. So I think it's just shocking that I know college football is always better when a Florida State team's relevant or like a Miami is relevant. But going from nothing to ranked in the top 10 is kind of baffling to me instantly. I could see top 20 for sure. But 7, that is a little high for me.
Well, our first argument of the year is the rank. Who cares about the rankings right now? These shouldn't even have rankings. We've discussed this for years. It's stupid.
I agree.
If Coach Matthews was on here, he would already be screaming at the top of his lungs. But he's,
Well, no,
and he,
I mean, it's
he and
the I truth. The only ranking that matters is the first CFP ranking.
correct.
That's when it matters. But we all know, unfortunately, the preseason poll is going to determine that first CFP ranking, though.
Okay.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. But then I would say my second surprise is Notre Dame 0-2. Going from a national championship appearance to being 0-2. Now, don't get me wrong. I just as for Tennessee last week, just feel as bad for Notre Dame for missing a PAT and they lose by 1. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to see, as any coach or competitor, you don't want to see that be the way you lose the game. You know what I mean? Like, beat me, but don't beat me on an extra point like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that sucks, because I do think Notre Dame's a good team. I think Notre Dame will arguably screw around and be 10-2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because if Notre Dame doesn't lose last week, we're now sitting here talking about Notre Dame being probably 3 or 4 in the country.
And
instead
again,
of 24.
I get what you're saying, but every time we talk about the rankings right now, I just think it's silly.
I get it. You can say it's silly. You can say it's silly, but the reality is there's rankings. They rank them for a reason, because we agree we're on the same page. They probably shouldn't rank them this early because of Florida State last year. Let's call it like it is.
Yep.
But they do. And they do affect where they're going to rank them in the CFP when the first ranking comes out in 10 or 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is. So that's just where we're at. I mean, those are my 2 surprises. Would be Florida State so high and Notre Dame 0-2.
Well, I'm telling you, and again, it's really early. Georgia Tech, man, I am number one.
Let's go.
I am excited about what this guy's doing in Atlanta. I think it's good for college football.
He's gone.
I think it's great for college football. It's great for the ACC, but I think it's great for college football when Georgia Tech is relevant. They haven't been relevant since 1990. Truly since 1990, when them and Colorado were co-national champions. I'm tickled for them, and he's doing things the right way in this new system. Don't get excited. So let's kind of let me kind of break it down so we don't go and just ramble on different things. Let's talk ACC to begin with. You got to talk about Georgia Tech. You got to talk about NC State, even though they really have, they played Virginia. Miami, is Miami the real deal? No. You don't think so, Trev?
I think they're good, but I don't think they're the real deal.
Yeah, I just look at schedules and the way that Georgia Tech is set up this year. They've got a chance to go into that Georgia game undefeated. They don't play another ranked team. I know we don't like the rankings, but
I get you.
They don't play another ranked team until Georgia. And does that count for
Nope. So, are they this year's Indiana? Like close to Indiana?
I would root for them.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, they beat a good Clemson team. Clemson's not that bad. And they're not what they have been, but they're not a pushover. Let's call it like it is. Clemson can play with anybody on any given Saturday. At the end of the year, kind of like what you're saying about that, Trevor, at the end of the year, I could almost see that loss to Georgia Tech being a good loss for Clemson if Georgia Tech ends up running the table, maybe only losing one more ball game. You know what I mean? Like
I think we look at it too. Clemson's got an easy run. The rest of the way, they don't have another run. They've got Florida State. That's their game. And so, looking again, the ACC. I'm a Big Ten guy. I love Penn State. That's my team, and I try and look at these things as clearly as possible without those goggles on. But we all know the ACC is not that good. Just call it what it is.
Well,
They're a little bit better. They're a little bit better, but at the
There's
top,
100% fact. It's 100% fact.
well, but listen, Miami is good. I think Miami is good. I think Florida State is really good, and I know what you're saying about playing, Podunk State. That's like we talked about.
I get it, but they played Alabama with a first-year starting quarterback, right? A first year at Alabama OC. They just lost however many guys either in the portal or to the draft. We know that DeBoer is not Nick Saban. It was the perfect storm for Florida State to win. Then they played East Texas A&M. Hearing the name just reminds me of the movie Necessary Roughness.
One of my favorite movies.
Great movies. Arguably top 5 football movies ever. But what I'm saying, it just makes me think of it going like, buddy, you played the middle school team down the street type game. And everybody's playing them nowadays, and I get it.
Like
so that doesn't, to me, yes, that doesn't tell me that you're a good team at the moment. Miami's good, but guys, once again, I think Trevor hit the nail on the head. It's not a slide on the ACC. You got to all you do is play your schedule. But you're going to sit here and tell me, I don't know who's on Florida State Miami schedule per se. I know Florida State Clemson play, but just overall, Wake, Virginia Tech, right? Syracuse is good, but they're not what they were last year. They're a good team, but they're not what they were last year. Duke, NC State's not what they usually are. But see what I'm getting at? I'm going through these teams in ACC going, none of those you go, that was a damn good win. That was a win.
Yeah, and I'll be quite honest. Like we say about Syracuse. Yeah. We joke about this a lot, but waiting for Drew Aller to Drew Aller. Like with Miami, you just wait for Mario Cristobal to Mario Cristobal. Let's call it what
he's going to do.
He's going to do something. They could screw around and lose to Florida. I don't think they're better than Florida State, but we'll find out. It's at Florida State, so that doesn't match up well for Miami there. Like you start to look at those things, and every big game Mario Cristobal has been in, he's done something just outlandish.
Okay.
The thing that hurts me to say this though, is the best team in the ACC is Clemson. They are.
Agreed.
I get Georgia Tech beat them. You got to play the game on Saturdays, but the best team is Clemson. If Clemson runs the table, they'll be back in the playoff because they'll win the ACC championship game. It's just what it is. If they run the table, they're better than Florida State because they're more battle tested. But let's talk about Clemson real quick.
I don't think I agree with you. No,
really, I think they are. But
they're not. They're not the third best team in the conference, but I don't think they're the best team. I think really, if you ask me right now to look on what's going to happen in Charlotte, and to get to Charlotte, Miami, Florida State, and Georgia Tech are my top 3. Now that's just right here now.
I get it. Clemson's got to play Florida State. Clemson beats Florida State, that knocks Florida State out. There's your tiebreaker. See what I'm getting at?
Yep.
Clemson only got one conference loss. But either way, let's.
I'm going to change the subject.
Well, no, hold on, but it's about Clemson. Did y'all hear what Dabo said?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Are there rumors and swirlings in Clemson about getting him out of town? Is the question, because otherwise, I don't know why he says it.
I think he's just tired of the scrutiny from people that he's sat there. And again, look, you and I, we were blessed. And when they were trying to rebuild, you and I were in that facility. You were just a kid. And their program was trying to figure a way out. And they just hired that brand new young receiver coach that was basically, they told him to go get coffee in our meeting. And that guy, I mean, look, there's times I just want to look at him and go, man, just shut up. But he's taken and made that the elite program. He's earned the right to say what he wants, and he's earned the right for people to give him a little bit of grace there for for losing a couple of football games.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
listen. I
defend
don't
him.
disagree. I'm not a Dabo guy. I'm just not. Never have been, never will be. I don't disagree with what he said. I just find it shocking that as successful as they've been, that conversation is happening.
Because it
Like, you
goes
can
to
tell-
what he said. People, they're spoiled. People are spoiled. But let me go back and real quick here before we move on to the other conferences. Is Beamer going to be the next head coach at Virginia Tech? Or is it going to be John Gruden, who is actively trying to get that job?
No, you're on the right path of what I'm thinking. Trevor, I can't remember. Were you in the room when we talked about this the other day?
We talked about this.
Okay. I thought it was me and you. All right. So I've got a couple scenarios. Either they bring the hometown kid home in Beamer and break the bank for him. I don't like the way he does all the videos, blah, 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 blah. But the kids seem to love it in recruiting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to do that. I'm not saying that in a slight way. I just find it cringe. I do. I find it a little cringy. But that's how you got to recruit in today's world. I get it. It works. Okay? So good for him. You bring him back. You bring Dad back.
What about Michael Vick?
And around the program. No, because no. But I say I don't think Vic. No, because I think he is happy with where he's at and what he's doing because of the other reasons behind it. I do, and I respect that.
I know you have I know. But I think his name is in the conversation, boys.
I don't. Not after 1 year. I don't.
He's 1-2 right now at Norfolk State.
No,
he's got some work to do there.
I could see this. I could see whoever gets hired bringing him as the QB coach and making him the face of the damn recruiting portal. But that's a different story. What I really think happens, I do. I think Alex Golish is the front runner from South Florida.
Good
who
football
lives
coach.
Yep, who lives in Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and wants to get back into coaching and loves the city of Tampa Bay. John Gruden takes over South Florida because he already lives in Tampa. He already lives in South Florida. I could see that scenario swirling around and happening to where I think that's a very more easy in for Gruden if Golish does get a job because he's already there. He knows the community. He loves the community. They love him because they went in a Super Bowl. Talk about recruiting. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. John Gruden's getting a job somewhere. Let's call it like it is. He's going somewhere.
I think you're correct.
I think South Florida would be a great fit if Golish leaves.
Absolutely.
Because what facility does John Gruden use for his little quarterback camp? South Florida's. Like, the end's already there. If Golish leaves, you might as well just go ahead and put John Gruden on the head coach's door.
Yeah, because the job he wanted, Coach Heupel got.
Yes, and Heupel just got an extension, rightfully so. But that's the job he's always wanted.
Yeah.
Now I could see. Listen, the ship is possibly burning in Gainesville. I know we're not on to this part yet, but Gruden, if that sinks, Gruden's in Gainesville. They'll break the bank for that, 100%.
We're not going to spend a ton of time on it right now, but the Big 12, just kind of tell me real quick, guys, because I want to move on to specific things in a minute. Tell me in the Big 12, just early thoughts as we get into the second quarter of the season.
I think we'll find out what we need to know in the Texas Tech Utah game on Saturday. Let's call it like it is.
The highest ranked team in the Big 12 isn't Utah the highest ranked team at 16th?
Iowa State's 12.
Iowa's 12.
Okay.
And
cool. So they don't even have a team. They don't have a team in the top 10. I know that's not a slouch. That's not what I mean. It's It's not like they're a bad team. But when you're talking about for the playoffs and everything, they're the conference, and the ACC are the conference that's lucky that the conference champ gets in.
100%.
I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but that's just what it is. I mean, they're
real.
lucky that they get a conference champion, but
Well, I don't know who Texas Tech has played. Let me pop. They've scored 174 points in 3 games. Oh, okay. They
Texas
played nobody.
Tech's breaking the bank on NIL deals too, guys. So
Arkansas, Pine Bluff,
they're
Kansas State,
literally.
Oregon State.
Oh, well, there you go. Nobody.
So
Nobody.
And don't overlook TCU, because that quarterback is everything you want in a player.
No, I agree.
When he walked on the field in Chapel Hill, that was a big stage that night, and he showed out. And I don't know how good or bad North Carolina is, and truly at this point I don't think they're that good, but man, did he step up on the big stage and just make play after play after play. So I'll never overlook them until they're totally out of it. So now the Big Ten. Wow, you got Oregon, you got Southern Cal, who looks like they might be back. You got Illinois, you got Indiana, and we can't make fun of Indiana right now. Hey,
Sure
you got Maryland. You got Maryland playing good football. You got Michigan State. Peter Clay, you hear me? You've got Nebraska, and good for him, because I like that guy. I like that guy, the head coach up there. You got Nebraska. You got Penn State and Ohio State, 1 and 2 in the country, even though I'm not a big believer in the rankings. Hey, you got Rutgers and Washington playing good football. So there's a lot of good football teams there.
Well, there's a team you left out that nobody wants his job, and that's UCLA.
Well, yeah, we were getting to that.
No, I know. We'll get more to do that in a minute. But, I mean, to me, I think the Big Ten is a 4-team race. 4-team. In no particular order: Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Illinois. There you go. There's your 4 teams. That's your 4 teams. And, Trevor, we've talked about this. Illinois, they're the sleeper not to win the Big Ten. I don't think that's happening. They're the sleeper to make it to a second-round playoff game when they screw around and get the number 11 seed, because they're not an easy out. They're not. Hey, call a spade here. They're not Indiana of last year, where everybody was like, "Dude, Indiana should not be in, and the 9-3 Alabama team should be." Look at the team. Look at the schedule. Look who they played. Illinois is a good team. I've said that for 2 years. I really like their quarterback, Altmaier. I think he's a gamer. But I'm not saying that to win the Big Ten. The Big Ten is 3 teams to win it: Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Those 3 are going to battle out for number 1. But Illinois is going to. I think if they take care of their business, will be the 4th Big Ten team in the playoff. I do. I really do.
That's going to be the hard part. Like, I don't know if you've seen their schedule or looked at it, but their schedule is not advantageous to them. Looking at it now, like they're at Indiana this week, which I think is going to be a battle. I think Indiana's going to want to prove themselves. I don't think Indiana wins that game, but I think Illinois gets beaten up a little bit. Then they have to play USC at home, and that'll be USC's first real test. So are they good? Are they not? Then they got at Purdue. That's not a big deal. But then they play Ohio State. Call like that what that is. But then the week after, they have to go to Washington and face that running back. That's it.
And Washington's quarterback is a true dual threat.
Yeah, and Washington's going to be a tough out for any team that plays them in the Big Ten this year, minus those top 3 or 4 that I think we talked about. And especially going to Washington, that's just a tough ball game. And then they close out the season before a Northwestern matchup. They go at Wisconsin. And again, I don't care what anybody says about the Big Ten from the middle up, but at Wisconsin's not an easy win.
No, tough place.
No. See, listen, I've always said Wisconsin's a top tier Big Ten team. They're just not in the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like they're one of the historic teams. You don't want to play there because of jump around. You don't want to go there if you're not Dan Lanning. And listen, I'm not an Oregon fan, obviously, but any team this guy coaches, any team Dan Lanning coaches, I'm a fan of because that dude will get. Hell, I'm 38 years old, and I'll run through a brick wall for the guy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just because of how he treats his team, how he treats his players, how he talks to them, and how he gets them going. They got to play us. We don't got to play them. They got to play us.
Yep.
Like so, unless you're him and get your team to buy into the jump round is because of us, you don't want to go play at Wisconsin.
Yeah. I'm personally, and I've said this out loud 100 times already, I personally cannot wait to hear what Dan Lanning had to say before the whiteout game in 2 weeks. Because I know he's going to have those guys ready to go.
Dude, don't put it past Oregon for some crazy uniform for that game.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
You understand? That's one of my games of the year that I'm like, I'm here for this one. Like I'm here for this game because of Dan Lanning.
They might just go icy white. They could go all white. They're that style of team to just go 100% white.
Love it. Let's go. Hey,
now
white helmet. Hey, white helmet
Everything.
with the chrome
Yes.
O, and it's all white and chrome. Let's go. Let's go, Oregon.
I would not be surprised.
I'm rooting for Penn
if
State.
they show up,
You know that.
all white, and they're having their own whiteout at the whiteout game. I'm telling you, it's
Like
happening.
you know I'm rooting for Penn State.
Yeah.
But let's go Dan Lanning, man.
So let me rephrase
Let's go.
that. You better be.
so now let's talk in the SEC real quick. Last year, all you heard was we were down and the conference was down, and I give Jonathan credit. Jonathan didn't care. You were going to die on that hill. It made no difference. You didn't care. You argued with everybody that was able to breathe and argue that it's about the Southeastern Conference. So, really early on, it looks like they're back. And I'm just going to name some teams and kind of just tell me what, because we've got to move on as we go here, but just kind of tell me your thoughts on it. And I'm going to start with Ole Miss with Lane. And they're going to score points. Can they play defense?
And when are they going to lose the game they're not supposed to lose?
See, that's my thing. Winner, because listen, the kid playing quarterback, he didn't play last week. Who was supposed to be the second coming? He graduated high school at 16. He got a bachelor's before he was 20, or before like 19 years old. Blah blah. He's a baseball pitcher. All this stuff, and then all he did was become a turnover machine. Even though they're winning the 2 ball games with him, he gets hurt. They bring in the kid from Ferris State Division II school, and the kid does nothing but go out there and beat Arkansas in a shootout. Like, so I'm saying, like, Lane can get away with whatever quarterback he needs. I'm like Trevor, though. Yes, they got to stop people. I'm just wondering when are they going to lose that game that you go, what was that? Like, Mississippi State, for instance. I know that's a rival game, and Mississippi State is probably the most improved team in the SEC, but it's like, I could have seen them randomly losing to Mississippi State last year, and Mississippi State won 1 ball game.
Yeah.
2 on the schedule that I see that stick out to me, unranked teams, but South Carolina down the road late, and then Florida the week before Mississippi State. Those are the 2 that I'm like, do they lose one of those and also lose to like LSU and Georgia? Then they're a 3-loss team, 14th in the country, going, but we should be in the playoffs. Well, no.
Well, if they don't lose, if they win the games they're supposed to win, truthfully, if they win the games they're supposed to win, but we all know how that works, right? Doesn't always work that way at all. That's the hard part. Like for Tennessee, for instance, Tennessee's ranked 15th, but if you go by the SEC, LSU, Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Alabama are all ranked ahead of them. You're not getting 8 teams in.
Nope.
So for Tennessee, they're still in their driver's seat, blah, 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 all that.
Go win the games.
Because their only losses in overtime to the number, what's Georgia at? The number 5 team in the country. But that's the whole thing is if Ole Miss wants in, they just got to take care of their business because Tennessee's schedule for SEC purposes is still advantageous. They got Oklahoma at home, advantage Tennessee. Oklahoma's good, don't get me wrong. Oklahoma's one of the more improved teams. But coming to Neyland, it'll be rocking. And then they've got Alabama on the road. They got Florida member, which Florida's not showing to be overly great. So if Tennessee takes care of their business, they're going to screw around and be ranked number 5. But if they can still afford one more ranked, keyword ranked, loss, a 10-2, 2-loss SEC team that's lost to ranked teams in the top 10 is not getting left out of the playoff. And that goes for any of the teams, what I'm getting at. Any of them.
LSU. I'm just throwing names out. LSU.
Good.
They're damn good.
Like I'm a
Georgia.
They got well, hold on. Call it like it is. LSU's got the best, most experienced quarterback in the country. They do. If you're drafting a kid in this next year's draft, he's the only one you're looking at in the first round in my mind. The only one in the first round.
Georgia.
Still not sold. They put up 44 against Tennessee, and I know this can say this for any team, but Tennessee had 3 defensive starters that are like All-American style starters out. Still more to prove. Stockton didn't play horrible. Made a couple really good throws. I just don't know yet. Like you can't count out Kirby though.
Auburn.
You just can't.
Auburn.
Not sold on him. Overrated.
Trevor,
Nah.
you okay?
Listen, they're about to go to Oklahoma, to Texas A&M, then Georgia, then Missouri. I think they lose 3 of those 4.
Missouri.
Better than people think. And I said this to Trevor the other day. I was just messing with him. But, like, he didn't fit Penn State's offensive scheme phenomenally. He fits Missouri's way better, but Bo Pabula is balling right now.
Yeah, and they've got
they're tough.
From SEC standard, they have an advantageous schedule too. So they could be one of the 4 that they don't make it to the SEC championship game, but they sneak into the playoffs because they've only lost 2.
Oklahoma.
Yep. Good.
Hard to bet it. I think their coach is one of the best defensive minds in the country, and he's finally got his crew where he wants them, and I think we're starting to see it. But I mean, he carried Clemson to a couple of natties. So
Texas A&M.
I even said, well, I think Oklahoma's Tennessee's hardest game left on their schedule, and that's including Alabama.
Texas A&M.
Better hope their defense wins them ball games because you're not going to throw for 45% and beat teams most of the time.
Alabama.
I think they're only going to get better throughout the year, but I don't trust the coach.
I think he's a good. Hey, I was sold on him at Washington, but I'm going to tell you,
this is
and
a different animal.
You both would agree with this. I think recruiting in the Pacific Northwest. Ask Brian Harsin from Boise that went to Auburn. Recruiting in the Pacific Northwest is way different than recruiting Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, Louisiana.
Yep.
Way different than going in. Hey, you can say what you want about Nick Saban. The dude literally went into a living room and did a line dance so he could get into the living room with a high recruit. Was doing line dances with the family. You got to do different things in the South. It is what it is. And I don't think that's his recruiting style. And if you notice, they consistently get not worse, but they're not continuously getting better. And he's still living off of Nick Saban recruits. Let that sink in. He's not on his own recruits yet.
Nope.
So with them not going uphill, I don't find that as a positive for them.
Well, I'll say this: that when you make that statement, I'm gonna push back, because there's no recruits basically. These are just kids that are coming from other places.
I get it, but go look at the roster. Yeah. I'll go cross-reference the roster and tell you how many kids that were on the roster when Nick Saban was there.
Okay, well, I don't want to do that right now, but okay. But I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
No, I get what you're saying, but the reality is all of his starters were there when Nick Saban was there, because they're starters at Alabama. They're not leaving. Yeah, the only one he lost was Caleb Downs.
I'm gonna take a little bit. We're gonna talk about Texas, and before we talk about Texas in particular, as a whole, I'm gonna talk about the Manning kid for a second. The where they put him in an almost unwinnable situation. I don't care about the NIL money. I don't care about all that other stuff. I'm just talking about the expectations. You got these, and again, I will say this publicly, and I know that he's got the big radio show and he does the stuff with ESPN. Paul Feinbaum is a moron. Period. Well, he's just a media. Huh?
He's a part of the media. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Hey,
but they anointed this kid the Heisman Trophy, the #1 pick in the draft, better than Peyton, better than Eli, better than the young kid that played that, and he, that's a hell of a lot to put on a kid.
Here's the thing: does he have? Listen, he's got the most athletic talent in that family, athletically,
bar none.
But I get it. But here you got what sells.
I'm going to defend him a little bit here. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I know. I'm with you. I'm just saying. But what sells by the media? They've got to hype things up. Year in, year out, they got to hype. They got to dub their golden boy. Trust me, Tim Tebow ain't what he all cracks up to be. But they dubbed him the golden boy because they need a golden boy. This is not on Arch.
No.
This is on the media. Arch is going to be good. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think Arch is hurt. I do. And somewhat, I'm not saying like season-ending hurt, but I don't think he's throwing pain-free. And it's not because the picture you saw with his face. It's not the picture you saw with his face. His throwing motion is getting lower and lower each week.
It's like playing a season with basically a broken ankle.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, he started last year, he was here. Then it was here. Now it's here. Now it's here. And that is a sign of shoulder fatigue and shoulder overuse and possibly something going on. That's just my opinion. But that's what I keep seeing is every time.
I know you love the kid. I know you love his demeanor. I love the way he carries himself.
Yeah. Oh, I'm defending him here in the sense of you got to throw from different arm slots. I get that. But when he's got a clean pocket, his arm, it's almost like it's painful, which is the typical sign of a rotator cuff or a labrum, to where you try to keep it from here instead of it naturally when you throw it goes there. Right? It's an easy way to look at it. It's almost like he's trying to keep it here where it doesn't hurt. That's just what I see. I could be way off.
Well, I don't think you had two of those surgeries.
That's what I'm saying. And I know what it's like to have to throw from different arm slots out of necessity to keep it from hurting. And that's what it's looking like. I could be off. I could be way off. I hope I am. Because I don't want him to be hurt.
No,
I think he's a phenomenal. I think he's a great athlete. I think he has the most potential to be the better of all the Mannings because of the athleticism.
That's a hell of a statement.
But keyword potential, because of his athleticism. Because Peyton is still running his 40 from 1997. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But let me say this. the best player of all of them was Archie. He just happened to be on the wrong football team at the wrong time. If he had gone anywhere but the Saints, he threw the ball, he ran, he was special. I'm an Archie guy.
But he's not.
I'll deflect it back to the team here. That
Archie's dad is the best. He got hurt. Cooper. He's the one that broke his neck. He was the best of the family.
You're talking, that was his spinal cord, and he would have been an NFL receiver, no doubt about that. I'm a big.
What were you saying,
but I'm talking about as a quarterback.
You're good. I was going to deflect back to their schedule and just say there's 5 games where I don't think they can win 4 of them, which means they're a 3-loss team.
That's a big statement.
At Florida, Oklahoma, at Mississippi State, at Georgia, Texas A&M. I think they have.
I see them losing. I see them losing A&M and Oklahoma. I see them losing 2 of those.
Georgia.
Where was it at?
At Georgia.
All right. I got Texas winning, and here's why. I am a huge Steve Sarkisian offensive schematics guy. There's not a bet. There's arguably 2 guys in the whole country that offensively can out-scheme him, and that's Lane Kiffin and Bill O'Brien. And I wouldn't say out-scheme him. I'm just saying, I think those 3 are the 3 offensive guys in the country that you can't out-scheme them. We'll say it that way. If you're a recruit and one of those 3 call you, or all 3 call you, close your eyes, throw a dart on a dartboard, and pick it because you can't go wrong, is the way I look at it from an offensive schematics thing. That's the reason why I think, what do we talk about in our meetings, Trevor? 11 personnel is so hard to game plan against defensively because there's a lot you can do. If you watch
the better question is, what do you think the struggle's been then for the first 3 weeks with them offensively?
Truthfully, Arch's arm. I think he's hurt.
So do you think that gets better throughout the year, or do you think that's – because if it doesn't get better throughout the year, then I don't see how they win the 4 of those 5 games.
That's a good point. That's where the super that's where you have to over scheme to help your player. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think if anybody can do it in the country, Steve Sarkisian can, is what I'm guessing I'm getting.
That's fair.
We're going to move. Hey, we move on from Texas.
But Texas's week 1 is a wash because they played arguably the best defense in the country.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to move on from Texas.
The other 2 weeks, it's we're way better than these teams, but for them to be a national championship contender, you can't mess around, and they did.
Yep.
All right, we're moving on from Texas. And I just need a one-word answer when I ask this question. And then I'm going to talk about the last team in the SEC. When I've asked this question, is Coach Stoops going to be the head coach at Kentucky in 2026? Yes or no?
No.
Ooh.
No.
I think yes.
I think not because he's fired. I think he leaves.
Okay. Vanderbilt.
Vandy's Vandy, dude. Who the hell they played?
Oh, no. Take your Tennessee stuff off.
That was coming.
I knew it.
I'm being serious. No. I'm being serious. You played a Virginia Tech team that the coach got fired in the first 3 weeks, and now their team is legally allowed to enter the transfer portal and go to new school in redshirt. Don't sit here and act like you've done anything. You played Virginia Tech. They suck. South Carolina has always been overrated. What I say all year, don't take Lenore Sellers as a Heisman winner because he's not a good quarterback. He's a hell of an athlete. He's not a good quarterback. Takes a hit to the head and he's out. Next thing you know, now they're getting ran through by Vandy. So I don't want to hear all that crap. It's Vandy.
I know you don't love Vandy, but you personally, you've got to like Diego though.
No, I don't think he's. Once again, I think he's just I like that he's tough, but he's playing backyard football. I am so stupidly critical of the quarterback position that I watch you and watch the scheme you're playing. Can Diego Pavia go to any other system and play? No, because it's not backyard football.
I mean more from a he's got a little something about him. Like he wants.
No, it's because he's playing backyard football. Guys, they probably don't even freaking meet. It's literally backyard football.
It's Vanderbilt. Yes, they meet.
I'm not saying that. I can name other schools that I think the same thing about. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
Truthfully. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs are the same way. If you want to go down that road, I don't think he's playing backyard football. He doesn't take a proper drop. He backpedals to scramble. That's not quarterback. That's being an athletic dude that can play backyard football. That's what Diego Pavia is doing. That's what Lenore Sellers is doing, right? Hey, that's what Cade Klubnik is doing. That's what TCU is doing. That's what Southern Cal is doing. That's what Florida's doing. That's what North Carolina's doing. I can keep going because I know these systems because I talk to their coaches about it. And it baffles me. It baffles me that people want to go listen to them talk schematics. Like Taj Boyd, for instance. I love Taj. Great guy. Played at Clemson. He was committed to Tennessee when I was there. They ended up going to Clemson. I played with him in Montreal. And we even talked about his time at the combine when they're like, hey, drop 60 protection. And I quote, what's a protection? I was never taught a protection. So don't tell me that Clemson's a premier program where they're not teaching football. Auburn, same way. I mean, I'll keep going if you want me to.
No, I don't.
I'm just saying. As you can tell,
This is our first show.
I'm just saying, because I'm critical of the quarterback position because it's so valuable for the longevity of the game of football. It's not about one particular season to me. I'm talking about the longevity of the game. Like, if you look how bad, I'll call it like it is, look how bad the play has gotten in the NFL from the younger quarterbacks because they've never been taught. They don't know how to even call a play in a huddle. They don't know how to call Trevor, are our plays 2 words?
Nope.
Because we run a pro-style, legitimate professional offense, and our kids have busted their rear end and know it. Now, do we huddle? No. But if I called the play, our quarterback, Jet Bartlett, go in there and call the play, and everybody would know exactly what to do. Because we do practice those things. Just don't do it in the games. We teach. A majority of these colleges don't teach, high schools as well, and colleges don't teach. And then I go back to the 2003 Hard Knocks with Baltimore Ravens. I think it was 2003, it might have been 2002, when they won the Super Bowl and the Hard Knocks. And the quarterback coach is sitting there looking at the undrafted quarterback and goes, son, it ain't my job to teach you that. You should have learned that before you got here. You better get on board. That's what it is. And the colleges are not doing that anymore at certain programs. Certain ones do. And they can teach developmental tools and understanding of the game and coverages and reads. Guys, I'll die on this hill. Michael Vick would go down as the greatest quarterback to ever play the game if they would have taken the time to teach him coverages. He did an interview after the dogfighting when he was with the Eagles and said the first time he had ever got taught what cover 2 was when he got to Philly. What did we do at Virginia Tech? What did we do at the Atlanta Falcons? You wasted arguably the greatest talented quarterback to ever walk this earth because you didn't have enough wherewithal to teach him what as simple as cover 2 was. And that's pathetic to me. So, yes, I'm critical because I care about the game and longevity. If you've seen the play go downhill, am I wrong?
No.
And that's why. So that's why I'm critical. And it's not just Vanderbilt. Yeah, I obviously don't like Vandy. But I'm just saying, like,
no, you think?
Don't sit here and tell me that I like that he's got some grit, but I also think he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of an athlete. I think their tight end is a dude, though.
Yeah.
I think 9 tight ends might be the first tight end drafted.
Yeah. Now,
sorry,
we're going to switch.
Nobody thought we were going to go to the Baltimore Ravens from 2002.
Yep.
I just posted the bear and got it going.
Okay, the Ryder Cup. We got to talk Ryder Cup. And here's I don't have any dilemma with the Ryder Cup,
My
but
wheelhouse.
it is hard for me to root against Fleetwood. Now I'm going to root against him, but I just love this guy. I love
Trevor, you
everything
just
about him.
You love him all you want to. This is the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it's the Ryder Cup, brother.
This
That's
is
it.
my
We are
favorite.
all in.
This is my favorite sporting event in the world, hands
Yep.
down. It's not
Cool.
even
Yeah,
close.
I hope listen. We have to win, but I hope Bryson DeChambeau loses every match.
God,
Sorry.
stop it. I know.
I don't
you
like
hate him.
DeChambeau.
I know you hate him.
I
But you
don't
can't-
like
you just
DeChambeau.
can't this time of year. It's okay for
I
3
hate
days.
Can we
For 3 days.
Can we healthy scratch him? Can we healthy scratch him?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
Absolutely.
saying.
Okay, so probably one of the top 3 or 4 hardest golf courses on the face of the earth. Bethpage Black.
Yes.
And if you the research that I've done on this golf course, the greens are not hard. The greens are pretty easy once you get to them. The problem is getting to the greens.
Facts.
You gotta get there.
Facts.
Yes, you had to get to the greens.
Facts.
So I think that the USA team, I think the US team is I think we've got a great captain. This dude is all in on the Ryder Cup. He is everything you want to be for an American Ryder Cup. And I think it took a lot for him to not pick himself, because he is right now one of the top 8 golfers on earth.
Correct.
Again,
And I
he
respect,
didn't pick himself.
that he did not pick himself out of the purity of the game. I do. I do.
And
'Cause
I
that
think
would have been a
Keegan-
hard thing. To not
We'll
pick
call it
himself.
like it is. He should have been on the team 2 years ago, but Zach Johnson didn't have a single clue of what to do other than pick his buddies. And I'll go down on that. I'll get fired up about this about as bad as you just did about quarterback play. I'm a Ryder Cup guy.
I got fired up.
I live and breathe. I went to the 2012 and 2016 Ryder Cup, and it's by far the greatest experience I've had. Outside of getting married and having kids,
Well,
I'll say that.
You have come on, got to say that.
Save myself getting stabbed later.
Yes, I need you at work tomorrow.
So
but the
look,
2012 Ryder Cup, listen to this. Luke Donald should not have been number 1 in the country or in the world. Sorry,
hold on.
he had no business being in the world.
He
Sam
killed it.
Burns. Let me go through this here. Sam Burns. I think he's going to handle the pressure well. I think he's going to have a good Ryder Cup.
Liability.
Patrick Cantley.
He just says like,
I heard you. Let's
I like
go.
that.
Patrick
I'm gonna call a
Cantley.
spade a
I like
spade.
He plays
I
too
like
slow.
Cantley.
But he plays too slow. But
Cantley
I
does.
They
think
all
the
do.
pressure will
Actually,
not
they
get
all
to him.
Cantley's been there and got in a fight with Rory last time, so I'm good with him. He's ready to
Yep.
go.
DeChambeau,
See, that's here.
and he wants
If he
to come
does-
back to the tour.
Shambo doesn't. Hey, well, you know what? You chose. You made your bed, sleep in it, whatever. Right? I don't care. DeChambeau, if he just doesn't show up and decides to sleep in, I would be fine.
DeChambeau's going to kill it.
I just don't like him. I got to root for him. I just don't like him.
He's
Harrison
a U.S.
English.
Open kind of guy. He's going to do well. He's gonna
Harris
do well.
English.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Ben
Yeah,
Griffin.
Liability.
My goodness. Russell Henley.
Good. He's going to be a solid match
I
play
was about to say,
player.
I think Russell is a sleeper for us this time.
Here's
I
the
really
thing.
do. I think he can.
That's the thing that most people, where we fail as an American team, is that we're not good at match play. We care too much about this stroke play stuff. And this is match play. This is man on man. Am I better than you? Am I able to make birdies and stay in it? I'll take a guy like Bryson DeChambeau because he'll make 10 birdies, but he's also going to make 4 doubles, which doesn't bode well for stroke play. Some of these guys are just real conservative. They shoot 3 under. They got 3 birdies and 15 pars, and they do well, and they get into Sunday, and they finish top 10 like Sam Burns, like Ben Griffin. But then they get out there and match play, and they just can't match a guy birdie for birdie. Like you have to do a match play, and that's what the Europeans do really well.
Colin Morikawa.
One of the best iron players in the world. If he hits fairways, he's the most dangerous player on the team.
And I don't think the
to
pressure
me,
will bother him.
No.
To me, he's the one. When it's on the line on Sunday, you got to match him up with Rory.
Ooh.
Xander Schauffele.
I'm telling you, I know you're
That's
probably
the guy to
going to
match
say
up
Deshaun.
against Rory.
I'm all in
Who?
on Xander.
Xander Schauffele.
Oh, so
I
I do like Xander.
And when I say this next
do.
one, man, I am a big fan. JJ Spawn. He's
Fairways
going
and
to
greens.
He's going to
If he
do
putts well,
brilliant.
If he putts well, he's going to win a lot of matches.
Scotty.
Generational,
Just okay.
one of the top 5 players ever play at this point. Like,
Just
he's going to
okay.
kill it.
It's just okay. Hey, and Justin. Man,
He's just
Justin
average
Thomas.
best.
Justin is going to play really well. This
Get
is
him
a
off
big
the
deal
team.
for him.
He is so washed. I'm so done with Justin Thomas being on the Ryder Cup. He's an emotional guy, but he has not played well in the past 2 Ryder Cups, and they keep picking him.
Jonathan, son, what have you done?
Listen, I know he went to Alabama, and I have to hold that against him. But, dude, Justin's got the experience of the – I get it. Watch this. What you're saying about the Ryder Cup, I agree with. It's the same thing that everybody used to say about Rory at the Masters. Right? He can't do it. He just can't do it. When it clicks, it clicks. Does that make sense? And if you got to have the experience of
his first, I think 2016 was his rookie year for it. So 2016, 18, 21, 23, 25. This is his 5th Ryder Cup. His first 2, electric. His last 2, he should not have been on the team 2 years ago.
Well, but he's on it now, and he's playing well, and he's going to do well. Cameron Young.
I don't disagree with what you're saying to an extent of also, you know as well as I do, is this an individual week? No.
He's going to bring the fire.
I think a lot of it has to do with who are the other guys on my team this time. Do I vibe with them that way?
Yeah.
That does come into play. Let's call it like it is.
I'll put it this way. He does not need to go out for 5 matches. He needs to go out one day, once on Friday, once on Saturday, and then singles. That's it.
All right, Cameron Young.
I don't disagree with that.
Cam Young, dude.
Yep.
Cam Young.
I like Cam Young.
Dude.
But I think, as silly as this sounds, that the big advantage we have is a guy that's not even playing, and that's Keegan.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Keegan Bradley.
Man.
Right or die.
And he's got the people that he's surrounded himself with. Jim Furyk is a vice captain. Kevin Kinzer, Webb Simpson. That's a big deal to me for the younger guys.
Oh,
Brett Snedeker, Snedeker, and Gary Woodland. Yeah.
Sneeds is probably your next captain.
So let's talk about the European team. How do I pronounce Ludwig's last name?
Oberg. Absolute dude.
Yes. Matt Fitzpatrick.
Again, one of the most consistent players on that team.
Fleetwood. Probably the second or third best player in the world today.
You hope he has a 7-footer to win it because he's probably going to miss.
Hatton.
Good.
How do I pronounce Romas's? Ogard.
Yeah.
Victor Hovland. Yes. He's good. Shane Lowry. Yep. He's good. And he's a pretty good dude.
Because you're going to put him with Rory McIlroy all four real matches, and they're just going to smoke everybody. It just is what it is.
Robert McIntyre is playing as well as anybody on earth right now, and that includes Scotty.
He's consistent. His putter is going to be his deficit, and if he doesn't putt well, then he's a liability for that team.
Rory
I hate to say it, but Rory at the Ryder Cup is just a next level Rory. So,
Rahm,
again,
dude, it's
another dude.
I know, this is a stacked European team.
I'm telling you, I'll be surprised if we get out of this with a victory. And I'll love it.
Wait a minute, don't go there yet. Justin Rose.
Dude.
Got
And Starka.
Step Straka is the biggest liability on that team next to McIntyre. And Straka is freaking as good on the greens as anybody.
Who's going to win? When we sit here 2 weeks Sunday, who's going to win?
oh.
I don't know if Keegan can give them as much of an emotional lift as they need to pull this off. I don't like, and again, like it pains me to see. If y'all could see the pictures of me going to 2012 and 2016 in my American flag suit and bucket hat and just going absolutely crazy, I don't see any way that America wins this. Like, I think this is a 3-point win for the European team. I really do.
I'm going to disagree, and Jonathan, you chime in a second. I'm going to disagree because number one, our captain is I think he's a difference maker. I think there's a point there. I think Scotty is going to play brilliant. I think Justin is going to play brilliant, and I'm going to say one name again. J.J. Spawn. The pressure will not bother him. And there's, I read a book one time that's called A Good Walk Gone Bad that Davis Love talked about the first time, he got picked for the Ryder Cup in '93, and he's going, he was telling himself, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. What is all this about? And he said he stepped in the first tee box in 1993. And he couldn't feel his body. He said, I've never, to this day, had anything like that ever happen to me. This is the biggest event. And for people like me that love golf, I love this more than the Super Bowl. I love this more than the national championship game. I love this more than the NCAA basketball championship. I love it more than the World Series. This, to me, is the ultimate sporting event because golf is the hardest game on the face of the earth.
Play quarterback.
Oh my God. I'm going to see, you're not down here in the studio where I could punch you in the face. You're over there.
It's
so you got to listen.
But anyway, I'm going to go back to
individual sport is the hardest individual sport. It's not the hardest position.
Okay, but J.J. Spawn, I think, is the X factor, not just for the American team, but I think J.J. is going to be the X factor in the tournament. I really believe that.
Here's why I'll disagree with that: is he peaked at the U.S. Open. He was peaking, and he hit his stride, and then since then, he hasn't really overwhelmed me. And again, I can't say enough about how much I absolutely love the Ryder Cup, the event as a whole, rooting for America, the whole 9 yards. But that's a different kind of pressure that gets put on somebody. I've been there on the first tee box. There's at 3:30 in the morning when it's an 8 o'clock tee time, there are 10,000 people surrounding that first tee box, chanting USA, going nuts, going crazy, getting rowdy. And by the time those golfers get out there, J.J. Spawn to me is, again, you put a rookie on that team, you either have it or you don't, and I just don't know. He's a big X factor for us. If he does well, we got a chance, but I don't see it happening the way he's been playing the last 2 months.
Jonathan, who's going to win the tournament? As we sit here today, everything is subject to change. Who's going to win the tournament?
Yeah, I mean – I hate to say it, but I think the European team's going to win. I really do. And the reason – listen, I'm not rooting for that, obviously. I'm just saying, the reason why I think so, let's just be honest. If I'm taking – if it comes down to Sunday, anybody on our team in a normal one-man match is not beating Rory McIlroy. We've got guys that can compete all day, and I love our guys. Xander – Scotty.
Scheffler can't beat him?
I don't think he would.
Not on a Sunday.
Rory is a different player in match play.
But because here's what you got to realize. If Rory McIlroy, and he has talked about this, in his younger time before like the Masters for him, right, would have taken the Tiger approach, Rory breaks every record Tiger and Jack set. And everybody knows that. He was that good in his younger days. It was not even close. Rory was like, guys, I'm going to live my life. I want to have a life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And he's still this damn good. Does that make sense? Like, to me, he is the most talented. Nobody in the history of golf has had a documentary done on how much their hips recoil on their driver, but Rory McIlroy. Like, truthfully, they broke it down in slow-mo that when he comes to his driver, when he hits the ball, his hips are so fast that they actually recoil back and then go. He's the most talented golfer on the face of the earth from the history of the game, including Tiger, talent-wise.
When it comes to go Jack Nicklaus.
And that's fine. I get it, just because that's your era. I'm not talking about era versus. I'm just saying from a pure talent standpoint. Rory, so when it comes to a Sunday, and then you add this part of the Ryder Cup that means so much to McIlroy, I don't think we got anybody on our team that can beat him. I don't. It hurts me to say that, but I am a Rory fan, but obviously not during the Ryder Cup. And then, but when you match him with Shane, and it's almost like a flood of emotions that everybody goes, oh, bleep, we can't beat those guys because they mesh so well. And Trevor, you're right. They're going to be paired together every chance they can be paired together.
Every day, twice a day.
Well, who will be our best pairing if you were the captain?
What I'm getting is the only chance you got at beating them is you better find a pairing that can literally tie Shane and Rory. They cannot lose. You just got to tie them. Because if you give up those points, you're giving up points, and we may lose by 3 or 4 because of them.
They won't do it, but the pairing that they should put up against them, if they could figure it out of when they're going to put them out, is Scotty and Xander. That's the only chance. See,
that's what I was.
That's the
what I was
only chance. But to prove our point, just from a match play versus stroke play perspective, when you go back to 2016 in Minnesota, Hazeltine, the one person that could pair up with Rory McIlroy, who arguably was the hottest golfer on the planet at the time, was a guy named Patrick Reed. And you can love or hate Patrick Reed all you want to, but that is a match play extraordinaire golfer, and we don't have one of those on our team. We don't have a guy who you look at and go, that's a scary match play player. You have 12 guys that you go, they're pretty good at stroke play.
I disagree. I would take Justin Thomas. I would take Scotty Scheffler. Not against
Rory. Against
and Bryson. Listen, I'm not, and I would take Bryson in match play. Those three.
Bryson's probably honest to God, Bryson's probably the closest one in a match play situation against Rory McIlroy. Justin Thomas might get beat 8-6 right now by Rory McIlroy.
Come on.
I'm not joking. Justin Thomas is not playing well to be on this Ryder Cup.
And as much as I am a Justin Thomas fan, I will agree to that, to the what they call it, the TGL, like the golf league.
Yes.
Did not play well in match play there. He didn't.
He's just not. He's not like he had his time.
I am a Justin Thomas fan. I'm a Justin Thomas fan. I love watching him play. But I also understand if there's one guy in the world you cannot bet against, it's Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. And that's just what it is. And I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. And you pair him with Shane, great. Okay. Then who's going to deal with Justin Rose and John Rahm?
Fact.
I mean, Justin's an Olympic champion. John Rahm, as much as
well, you two are just gloom and doom.
I mean, I'm just calling it like it is. I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to.
No, I'm rooting for us. I'm just looking at their team going, their team top to bottom,
way better.
keyword top to bottom, is better than our only top. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I look at Justin
If
Thomas.
you want to put it in football terms, if you put it into football terms, their team right now is the SEC or the Big Ten, and our team is the ACC, where our top 3 teams are really good, but the other 6 or 13 in the ACC, whatever, middle of the road. But you go to the Big Ten and the SEC, you go, hell, you got 9 teams that could compete any week. That's the way that I look at it. Now, can the ACC still beat them? Yes. It can happen. It's just the odds are not in our favor is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I look at it.
We got to play lights.
Yes. We will have to play perfect golf. And one last thing on Justin Thomas, and this is more of a joke than anything, but his best performance in the last 3 years is Happy Gilmore 2.
Great movie, by the way. Great movie.
Yes.
Yes. Great movie.
I mean, because who are we going to pair with Oberg? I mean, honestly.
Listen, and Oberg would be the 3rd best player on our team, and he's the 5th best player on the European team.
And I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at is now, is that undoable? No, we can definitely go out there and play because y'all know as well as I do. I was joking earlier, but golf is the hardest individual sport. It is.
Yep.
Individual sport. Sometimes you're just not hitting it well. Or sometimes you're not seeing it well. Or sometimes you don't have the putting feel. We've got to have the perfect storm. 2007 New England Patriots did not win the Super Bowl and they went 17-1.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that we're bad. It's not what I'm getting at. Their team just top to bottom is better than our team top to bottom, but you still got to go play.
Yep. They're better on paper at the end of the day.
And we'll talk about it again next week as the practice rounds start, and next Wednesday we'll have a little more feel about where we are and the golf course setup. The home field advantage is we can set the course up, for our guys better than we can for them. So that is going to have some kind of play into it.
That's what wanted in Hazeltine in 2016. Like in 2016, all the Europeans were complaining that they had the Wednesday practice round or the Wednesday amateur play with the pros, the pro-am. They had pro-am hole location, so it was easier for birdies. And that's what the Europeans complained about. The course wasn't tough enough. So you go to a course like Bethpage Black, that's extremely tough. How do you make it easier for the Americans to make it a birdie fest? You can't. And that's why I think the Europeans have the advantage in this year's Ryder Cup.
We're going to find out here in the next 2 weeks. And before we get off here tonight, and then we'll be back Saturday, hopefully Saturday morning to talk about a big win that I hope that we have. Boy, Coach, we need a big crowd out here Friday night at CE Weatherby as we're getting ready to take on the Falcons. And again, every week in this conference, in the Mountain 8 is a gauntlet, and we need people loud. We need people out there early. We need them to be ready to be the 12th man at CE Weatherby. That's a big deal, Coach, and I know that you've talked to me about that before.
Yeah, no, it's no, and this isn't just coach talk. No week from here on out gets any easier in our conference. So once again, I'll say it multiple times. We have the most loaded top to bottom conference in the whole western part of the state. In my mind, I really believe that. So yeah, we're at home. We need a home field advantage. We need the student section to be loud, the cheerleaders to be loud like they have been, the band to be loud like they have been, the fans to be in it, to try to give us every advantage we can get, because that's obviously what you want when you're playing at home. So, I know we've had the past 2 weeks has been great atmospheres. I look forward to another one this Friday, and and we'll be back on Saturday and go from there. But I mean, I know our kids are ready. They've had a good week of practice. They're excited for the opportunity just to be able to go play and especially in front of our home fans.
Yeah, nothing like it. Best high school football stadium, best community. But and I know you've said that ad nauseum. So looking forward to everybody Friday night. Please go support our sponsors, guys. I'm gonna end the show here, but you two hang out for just a second. And so see everybody Saturday morning on the Tuscola Football Network on the Jonathan Crompton Coaches Show. And hopefully we're talking about a big victory over a really good West Henderson football team. So we'll see you guys Saturday. And then next Wednesday, we're going to talk some college football. A lot of good games this weekend. See you guys later.